Alright, so it's a paradoxical title. Stay away from the world. What? See, we look around and we look around. I want to preface that this isn't like some little complaining, little boo-hoo. It's we're living in Satan's little season right now. There's not a lot of awareness going on right now. The world is priority for many beings, most beings. So it's important to have this out there, okay? When we're talking about outside of the illusion of reality, within the illusion of reality, we're talking about knowing our true nature, okay? This this is fun and dandy. This is great. But the reason you got even to knowing your true nature is because you face duality. So we already know there's ignorance in this simulation, okay? In the world, in Maya. Because ignorance is necessary for an experience such as this. There needs to be awareness, there needs to be the source, and then there needs to be the world, ignorance. So, we're living in Satan's little season right now. Why do I have this? Well, okay, I'll explain. Like, THC triggers endocannabinoids in your brain, and it the effect is like this is like the most mild psychedelic psychoactive substance. This is allows for your brain to chill. You could say in that activate that allows for more of a weightless state. Okay. Similar to something like a psilocybin cubensis, it, it allows everything within the spectrum of your awareness to come up. This is why you might have paranoia slash a bad trip. You see? So everything within your being comes out. It's kind of in a way chilling out the prefrontal cortex, the identity center of your brain, and allowing for more of an aware state. Sure, you can sit down and play video games the whole time, but what is sitting down and playing video games? We need to come away from concept. You see, this is what we're talking about here. As we come away from concept, we start to understand that most live in concept. This is why the title is the title. So when we're aware like this, it's otherworldly, literally. Okay, coming back to the source. We are the source. We're in our source. We understand. We're authentic. When we look at the mainstream collective in like or YouTube Shorts or TikTok or Instagram, you look at that mainstream collective of human beings. You go to Walmart. Go to Walmart. Go to Walmart. Go to Walmart. Go to Walmart and be conscious. Go to Walmart and look around at who is around you. The collective frequency of Walmart. There's nothing wrong with it, but it is what it is. It's ignorant, you see. Nothing good or bad. There's only ignorance and awareness. Okay, and I believe animals like predator animals, they'll vibrate out of existence once we get to a collective high frequency, a high collective frequency on this planet. Everything is frequency here. So when I say stay away from the world, this means understand the characters, understand the play, understand things outside of you are also within you. Understand the low frequency of ignorant collective consciousness. That's not your basis. That's the basis of a collective consciousness. You need to understand that you're not within a collective consciousness. You're in more of a, a select group. Okay, you're in a minority. okay, of awareness, aware consciousness. Okay, collective consciousness is an ignorant in this time period, in this play, in this point in the play. Collective consciousness is operating at a low frequency, an ignorant frequency. A low frequency is an ignorant frequency. This is a spectrum of truth and illusion, awareness and ignorance, authenticity and fear. So what? Again, we come back to knowing our source and showing up in reality as what I was describing in my last video, a real nigga. Don't get caught up on the words. Really, truly, don't get, this is a bitch nigga test. Are you gonna get caught up on the language I'm using? Are you going to dwell into concept? Are you going to become a true full ass bitch ass nigga? Or are you going to realize that you're a real nigga? Okay. This goes beyond what you think. This goes beyond what you've learned. This is the source truth. I'm not trying to be like, yeah, everything's consciousness, bro. I'm trying to say to people who already know this, to already know that God and you and God are majority, that this is the world and then there is God. That people who can understand what God means past what most people think the word means. They don't even know what the fucking word means. They just get triggered because they're fucking stupid. So we see ignorance. We understand ignorance. We take a step back from ignorance. And appearing in reality as a real nigga will upset. It'll affect the frequency. You'll be a frequency within frequency. So it could upset someone, it could inspire someone, but the real deal, what's going on here is you need to be yourself. That's it. Step back from the world. Not step back from it. Be aware of it. Don't get dipped into it. Be aware. See it for what it is. Don't let someone make you angry. They're insecure. Why are you going to let someone who's insecure and who already thinks they're less than you try and make you think that you're less than them? When you already know for a fact they're doing this because they think, and in their mind they know they're less than you. This is called being a real nigga. Meaning, this is called standing in authenticity. This is called knowing God and knowing the world. Now, you look at the stereotypes. Devil's lettuce. But yet you can go and drink a bunch of liquor and smoke some cigarettes. You see the propaganda, you see the contradiction of the world and the collective frequency as it is. And this is all you need. Not this, but awareness. This is of the world. This is of the world. It's cool, whatever. But these things are not. This'll get. It'll run its course, and if it doesn't, it doesn't. It doesn't matter. What matters is awareness around the world, awareness within that, what I've been talking about. Having understanding of authentic truth in the world. Standing on business and not allowing ignorance to affect your frequency. And being above ignorance. Okay. I like to say, never go outside of the realm of psychedelics. I won't touch alcohol. Only THC, lysergic acid, trihyptamine, diethyl trihyptamine, and psilocybin. No ecstasy, all that shit, no ketamine, all that shit is worldly. All that shit has negative effects on you. This, probably the lowest tier of psychedelics. However, psychedelics improve your awareness. They don't improve it, they let things go for you to see what's really going on. This can be both good and bad for you. This everything can be, it's duality. Every level of subtlety. You don't use this as a crutch. You just use it. Ah, okay. You know. You don't even really need it, to be honest with you. We see the mentality of collective frequency, and we don't dip into it. And I'm not talking about just little kids, because that's really what's going on here. But there's there's adults there too. There's old people. It's a collective frequency of humans. So all we need with this is a little awareness. All we need is to know we're standing on business. You got to know you're standing on business to stand on business. Over the age of 18, this is legal where I am. We see within our own vessel where the world lies. We see where the conditioning of the world is within us. And we transcend this through understanding the world and through understanding the nature of the world. Through understanding that, well, this conditioning came from ignorance. This conditioning was brought on from pride from another, which that pride is sourced in insecurity. That's it. This is standing on business. Something like this only simply amplifies your consciousness. If it goes deep too. It's your true constitution within your own being. That's why truly, when you're being authentic, truly authentic, and you don't care, and you're not dipped into the world, dipped into the illusion, dipped into the collective frequency, people will be like, "Are you high?" Yes, but not off any substance, off of God. I'll walk around and people will think I'm high. I'm not. The word high is just ridiculous. But saying it's ridiculous only comes from what one's own experience with the phrase is. If you experience the phrase coming from ignorance, you're going to think the phrase is ridiculous because you only heard it coming from an ignorant space. This is more where we come back to neutrality. We come back to peace. Come back to neutrality. Come back to peace. And then we see from clearly where the disturbances are in the collective frequency. Both they're in the collective frequency and also they're within the collective frequency. Meaning the collective frequency is a source, and within the collective frequency is the source of why the collective frequency is a source. Meaning, what makes up the collective frequency is why the collective frequency is ignorant. And via evolution, the collective frequency will evolve and is evolving. There's nothing wrong with what's going on here. It is simply a matter of understanding and being chill with what's going on here. Chill out. You're chilling. It's the world. It's not some, iffy, edgy teenager stuff. It's understanding. And look, see, this is where concepts come in. What is an edgy teenager? Why are they an edgy teenager? We need to look at the source of things. You see, It turns into a concept and then you write it off. But why is it a concept? Why is it a stereotype? Why? Where is it originating from? What is the source? We need to come back to our source. You see what's going on here? It's a matter of source and illusion. Awareness and ignorance. Our awareness is our source. God is awareness. Consciousness is all it is, we could say. Man, there's no big deal. But it's important to understand. Because there might be someone on the verge. Maybe maybe this will bump someone up. See, this is already in you. This awareness that's already in you. You just might need someone to maybe you need a fucking YouTube video to really get it out there. To really get it in. To really, to affirm it in reality. You see, the collective frequency is, it's not going to become some edgy thing we're saying, because we understand what we're saying. The collective frequency operates out of concept, not presence, not the source of things, but what they think things are. I think there was a study that most people prefer to live in delusion. They prefer to live in their own fantasy land rather than be in presence, rather than be in reality. This is why it is chilling, but your chilling is on a high frequency. And that high frequency, that high aware frequency, disturbs ignorance, and they try and pull you back down into ignorance. But since it's a high aware frequency, you dig out of the ignorance from a foundation, because it is a matter of ignorance and awareness, transcendence through understanding, via understanding. So it's not a matter of the crabs pulling you back into the bucket. It is a matter of walking up the stairs. The crabs are on the stairs. It's like you're walking up the stairs, and there's some crabs that maybe they fell off or this or that or whatever. You're walking up the stairs. They can walk up the stairs too, but that means facing every contradiction that there is right now. That means rising up and stopping what's going on politically. That means stop, going to work and going on strike. So they're not ready for a revolution, so to speak. So they see the awareness in you, and they might not like it at first, or they might vibrate out of your completely out of your existence. This is why you shouldn't chase girls. This is why you shouldn't chase anything really, but why you shouldn't chase collective frequency. But it, this, that. It's like I have a primal instinct, it's like the second strongest instinct, the human brain, outside of survival. Alright, cool. But when you do that, you're connecting on a molecular level with that whole frequency. When you don't wear a condom, or even when you do oral, that frequency in you. When you're doing it without a condom, the penis is a sponge. It sponges it all up. It's all up in there. It's absorbing and transferring energy. It's a communion of energy. 0 and 1. 0 and 1. Duality creates non-duality. Existence creates existence. See? So you want to be merging with something that's just ignorant? Are you just going to settle just because of the feeling of the pleasure of the world? This is where we're at. See, I've never done this. I've never done this to escape reality. Never. And people tell you, this is why people do this. I can see. It's more, you can see it better in alcohol abuse or any other drug abuse. And I mean, you can see it with this too, but it's about the constitution of the frequency of the being, what's making it up, the authenticity, the authentic truth of it. Is that I'm doing this, you'd say with layman's terms, I'm doing it for fun, right? But really what it's doing to my awareness is just like chilling it out. Not like chilling it out. It's like here, and let's see what happens. Let's really talk about it. Let's see. Let's get front and foremost understanding. Like kind of chill here. This is full. All right. We'll just take a giant hit because there's no shame here. We're trying to see what's gonna happen. We're gonna explain it. Again, I've said this before in my videos. I'm not trying to impress anyone. If you think I'm trying to impress you, click off the fucking video. I don't care. I do not care. This is for awareness. This is a video about awareness. But let's see. Let's see what actually happens here. See, we're staying aware with it. When you're aware with something, any ignorance around the thing dissolves. So to speak, this frequency potentially is going to get outgrown with awareness. You see, it's not about trying or pushing into the world or thinking anything like that. It's about awareness over everything. It's about God awareness over everything. Christ consciousness over everything. You see, you see through everything. Okay, it's not about just this or that. It's about everything. It's about being conscious in the world. It's about 0 and 1. It's about source and the world. Awareness and ignorance. This is simplicity creates complexity. And what is the most simplest thing? 0 and 1. 0 condenses into 1. Okay, yeah. We're going to be conscious with it. We're really going to get down and dirty with what's actually happening here with the chemistry in my brain. Now, it allows you to hold deep awareness. What's interesting is that it's the same, it's there, right? It's right here. You can either be above it or below it. You can either be aware or ignorant. While you're using this, you just go play video games, right? Or you could be aware with it. Or you could be on the 51% of the line of ignorance and awareness that this brings up. Because like any psychoactive or psychedelic substance, all it can do is bring in the full, so to speak, the fuller picture of your entire spectrum of awareness, shutting down the prefrontal cortex ever so slightly to allow for more awareness rather than concept. We even see now, I haven't changed very much, but yet ever so slightly there's more awareness. It only amplifies the constitution of the frequency. So in essence, I'm doing it for fun, we could say within layman's terms. But really, That works for anything else. That works for saying ignorantly. So that's why it's layman's terms. Truly, this isn't a crutch. This isn't anything. This is how I operate. Not doing this. This level of awareness is how I operate. This is just, so to speak, mellowing out the prefrontal cortex, the identity center, and everything that's connected with the world, and that has everything that's been learned from the world kind of mellows out and allows for awareness. This is why this is, you can just apply what I'm saying to how these show up in reality, how they're depicted, how they're stereotyped, and you can pin this and be like, oh yeah, wow, okay, that makes sense, because it makes sense. This is not me making this up. This isn't mine. This isn't mine. This is God. Okay, this form, this is nothing. Okay. You get so caught up in the world, you get so caught up in the mind, but it is simply, utterly awareness. That's the game. Oh, you're in the world. But I'm awareness. Oh, and then people will be like, oh, look at this guy. Because they're in awareness. They're in ignorance. Everything is within awareness. Everything is God. But they're on an ignorant frequency. They don't understand. Because they don't understand because they don't know God. They don't know that being within themselves. They don't know awareness within themselves. They know concept. So within their concept, they can only be in concept because all they know is concept. So then therefore, you see. All they can go off is what they know. Their CPU capacity, and they can only grow on that frequency. They can grow from where they are at. Okay? There is no mistakes. Everything is chilling. We can see as time passes, we can also see how this is affecting me. This is mellowing out the prefrontal cortex. This is allowing for a more chilling of the identity center and how dipped into concept the brain is. This is what's going on. The whole prefrontal cortex, the identity center, is dipped deeply into concept, fully into concept. Maybe I should start streaming, because I can just do this all day. I can flow with this all day. I don't think you can do this on stream. And this video is already going to get age restricted. That's fine. Within concept, there's going to be barriers like that. Alright? And again, there's nothing wrong with concept. Then, because I'm talking like this, someone who's living in concept would be like, unconsciously, that's shattering their entire thing. Because I'm telling you that only God exists, and something understands that. So it's like something's uncomfortable with that, and then you fear what you don't understand, because the mind doesn't understand it. And they're living from the mind. It's triggering the God in them, which is triggering the mind, and pretty much telling the mind that it's dead, or it's going to die. It's threatening the mind and the concept and the prefrontal cortex. So that makes them insecure and uncomfortable, because you're threatening their existence. You're threatening their very existence. So, alright? See? I'm not just like talking out of my, I'm not just getting high. No, dude, like, we're down to earth here. We're getting into reality. We're on a foundation. What I talk about isn't just like, yeah, man, yeah, this, yeah, that, dude. Like, I built quite a foundation from duality. I'll tell you what. So, I'm standing on truth. There's nothing more powerful than authenticity. Truth, you see. See how the world works? There's every level of subtlety just keeps getting more and more and more subtle. More and more and more subtle. Are you going to be with God, or are you going to be with the world? Are you going to dip into illusion, or are you going to be aware? More and more and more and more subtle. If you're on it, you're on it. It's good. Nice. More and more and more subtle. It's just, now you're getting high frequency clothing. Now you're getting like water remineralizer. Now you're getting a whole tank of reverse osmosis water. Now you're really catering to your frequency. Now you're eating better. Now it's like your whole awareness, because the whole entirety of reality is based around ignorance and awareness. This is duality. This is duality, exactly. Ignorance and awareness. Okay, 0 and 1. There needs to be the truth, and then there needs to be the illusion of reality. There's nothing wrong with this. I'm talking big scoop out here. You see, so we're talking about reality and then the illusion of reality. That's where we're at. This is why I'm talking about how people will misunderstand this, because I understand, because I'm standing on business. I understand how someone misunderstands this, because you get to this point by working on this duality. 0 and 1, you put them together. You put ignorance and awareness together, and you get to another level. You transcend something through awareness. You see, this isn't just talking out of my motherfucking ass. This shit is literally all it is. Okay? And it's my existence. So there you go. This I'm in tune with existence itself. I don't have to cater and try and create an identity and try and get outside of the mind. I don't have to go and get buff. I don't have to go and do all these things. I don't have to go and get a bunch of money because I'm humble. Not because I'm cooler than you. I'm humble. I'm fine. I already got my own thing going on. I don't need to worry about that. No, it's literally because I understand what's going on here. There's nothing that understands it. Of course, when I say something like that, I gotta bring back into perspective of, yeah, I understand that this is real. But I have the balls to say that it's not real because I understand it to not be real through it being real, because it being real is necessary for it to be believed. You're not going to believe. You're just going to be like you're going to be on a higher frequency than this frequency. And full on just chilling. If you know, oh yeah, everything's God, nothing to worry about. This is the Maya. You drink from the well of forgetfulness. This is what's going on here, because it's necessary for a human experience, for an ignorant experience. Okay. Oh, but there's space time and everything's creating it all. Guess what? Everything within space-time is crystallized frequency. And everything that's frequency, we can just say everything is God, but we can get down and dirty. We can say the frequency that's creating reality is the waters of existence. Okay, the consciousness, the true pure consciousness. Okay, beyond frequency is light. Okay, this is a realm. This is the firmament. Okay, this whole reality and realm is the firmament. When you die, it dissolves because it's not plugged back into the brain and the nervous system. Everything dissolves. Oh, no. See, that's threatening the prefrontal cortex. Actually, no, it dissolves the prefrontal. Everything dissolves back into awareness, back into light. You come to the fullness of truth, okay? And you do go on from there, okay? Why am I in this lifetime? Why am I in that lifetime? See, that is a karmic wheel. We could say, we can think we know about it and say it's a karmic wheel, or we go with awareness. Perhaps the karmic wheel is seeing 333 with this. Reality reflects back at you because it's all God. It's all God. You need to understand this. All God. It's not just that one theory. I see this shit all the time. It is all God. All of it is God. And the more you understand all of it is God, the more you realize all of it is God. You see, it's just chilling, okay? All of it is God. What was I saying? 333 again. Reality is all God. The more you see into reality, into it being all God, the more you're in it. The more you see with awareness and you transcend ignorance through understanding, through experience, the more wisdom you gain, you see, the more of the higher the frequency you're on, it keeps merging more and more with your source. High frequency, awareness. Low frequency, ignorance. High frequency, remembrance of truth. Low frequency, dipping into the illusion. Okay. See, there's nothing here claiming this. There's nothing here claiming this. Nothing. This is just consciousness. Okay. This is just a fluid stream of consciousness. just all constant light. Can't point at it, can't get at it. You can only point at, can't even point at it. You can't. It's a subjective thing on purpose. If you can just be like, hey, everyone, God, they're just gonna be like, oh yeah. Guess what they did to Jesus? They crucified him. You understand? This is why that was in the Bible, to show you exactly what this is. You understand? So this is a subjective experience to some real niggas, as I said in my last video. See, watch my other video about niggas. Okay, that sounds so bad, but it's the word I was using on purpose to demonstrate an authentic frequency. In reality, I'm not racist. In truth, I don't need to prove that I'm not racist because I know I'm not racist. It's not even about being racist. The actual point of saying that word so many times in that video was to illustrate and to demonstrate how words in the world are separate from truth, how ignorance is separate from truth, how God is separate from the world. And in real truth, real deal truth, there is no separation at all. It is all God. Okay, but to say that me saying that word equals I'm racist is conceptual, is to be ignorant. It's to live in concept. It's not live in the present. It's to live in concept. You can look at me, you can see me, you can see my constitution, you can be around me, and you can understand very quickly I'm not racist at all. But yet a low frequency might hear me say that and immediately think I'm racist. Not because I'm racist, but because of the concept around and what is the whole spectrum of awareness of that frequency. Okay. So we surrender more to the source that it is all it is. How do you get past pain and debauchery? When you know you're in debauchery and you want to get out of it, what do you do? But I said I wouldn't do this, but I'm still doing this. But I know I'm still going to do it even though I see myself doing it. And I know I'm still going to do it even though I know it's wrong. What do you do then? You try as hard as you can, so to speak, while also knowing full well God is running this whole show, because of course it is. What do you think this is? What do you think this is? What do you think this is? You think what? The very consciousness that you think you have is existence itself. There is no me, there's no name, there's an electromagnetic field of frequency. There is only God. There is only light. There is only God. We'll use God because you can only point to the subjective truth within everything. It is only by God that an organism is able to recognize its true nature. This is all God. This is the play of God. This is quite phenomenal. But this knowledge is there, to be understood. This is the type of thing that creates awareness, because we simply come back to the matter of ignorance and awareness in the spectrum of the universe being the truth, and then the illusion. There has to be truth within a lie, and the illusion must be made of something real. There is only truth, there is only God. The more we see this, the more we dig out of illusion, because illusion and ignorance is conceptuality. In reality, we live in the present moment. We don't allow the present moment to give us concepts, but we live in the present moment through concept. Through being in the present moment, through concept, allows you to not conceptualize things and see them for what they are, to allow the conceptual center of your brain to then conceptualize based in reality. See, the problem is it's already doing this, although there's so many broken experiences going on that it creates an ignorant experience. You get oppressed, you get put in any way oppressed by a family member, by your community, by your environment, by your government, it's as above, so below. It all rolls down, you see. So this is why spiritual awakening is a political awakening. And this is why, you don't live in fear. This is why you don't live in fear. You go on your authentic truth and being, and that's what you go off of. That's what you do. You don't go off of fear. This is what you do. You are an authentic being. We could say what this thing is doing. making videos on this. But really, this is just conceptuality. In reality, this is just a fluid stream of consciousness, and there's nothing here trying to think or say that it's any kind of way, that I'm trying to be any kind of way. But the very reason that I'm trying to justify this is so that others can see that how I understand this, and that there's no me behind this. The only reason I experience any duality is so that then, therefore, this form can give this information out the way it does. There's all, and this is for every single other experience on anything within existence, because this is how it is. You're gonna sit here forever if there's not a thorn poking in your side. You're not gonna be aware if there's no ignorance. So, got like a tiny bit left. That's not white either. That's green. There is nothing to fear. All fear belongs to the body and the mind. This is all we're trying to do, is come back to God, come back to our source. We use that word. What does that word mean? Don't conceptualize it. Live in reality. Understand what it means. It means you, yourself, your source, your authentic truth, the nature of existence, and actually the fact that it's not you or anyone else. It is only just existence. There's no fear. There's no fear around how you should be or how you should try to be, because that makes you... Here's the thing. They'll call you autistic for going out and being your authentic true self. But the twist is the autistic, the source of autism is going against your authentic self. You could say the really autistic people, not like, but like, autistic people who get backlash from other people, or are a ruckus. We can even say guys like this too, because I've even seen it actually. They just can't communicate in the same way, but it's the same reason, and this is what it is. Their authenticity is getting oppressed, because I've explained this in a video before this one, the 1 hour video, the hour 11 minutes and 1 minute 11 seconds. Their authenticity is getting oppressed, and the very oppression that they're facing is a prideful oppression stemming from insecurity, because they see that this being is authentic and with its source, and this other being is insecure of that because it doesn't know its source, because it's not anything that doesn't know its source. It's the whole electromagnetic field of frequency, the whole existence going on, the whole play. So, that being, it's not even a being, you see, that, because it's all a concept when we're talking like this, when we're talking at all, that is working out of the mind, we can say, but we're at a point where there's only consciousness, there's only existence, there's just existence. And you can see within concept, like just me going like that, you can see how that could be like the salute, and then you have me saying the salute instead of the Nazi salute, just because I know YouTube, and then you can see the whole spectrum of the entire electromagnetic field, aoric electromagnetic field. See, this is all frequency. All frequency. Your brain is conducting frequency. It is frequency. There's only frequency. Physicality is the crystallization of frequency. This is why math and everything I'm talking about, you can add it up to any conceptuality you have around it, because it works. So long as you're adding it up with the groundedness of reality, and you're not living in conceptuality from what I'm saying, you'll see very clearly that I am standing on truth, and that there's nothing to stand. There is only truth. There's only frequency. There is only existence. Oh, I shouldn't have done that. I shouldn't have done this. What did we just talk about? Now you can start to see why the whole try your best while knowing God is running the show is actually the truth, is what you should be doing. Because there's something appearing to go on here. There's frequency, there's energy and motion. This is the game. Play within awareness. Try your best. Know that God is doing the whole thing. That's the play. That's the play. That's the play. God is doing the whole thing. Try your best still, because there's something here that's thinking that. But try your best is come back to that source. Not try your best. It's come back to awareness. That's what that is. So we see very clearly. Now, it doesn't truly matter what I was saying before that, because this is the way it's supposed to go. As I was going and doing whatever I was doing, it doesn't matter what I had to say, I was living in awareness. I could see the concepts forming of thinking, oh, this is what I'm going to say. And what I had said was very similar to what I was thinking I was going to say. However, you see very clearly here the balance between awareness and concept. You see how in real time, when you're not doing anything, awareness and concept. There's something going on here. Can you look someone in the eyes with zero guilt, fear, or shame? Can you? Can you truly? Can you see through your own form? Can you see how this form used to be rather large, and now it sees itself in such a coat? It wants to show that it's not as large as the coat seems it to be. This is nothing to be shameful of, fearful of, or guiltful, or guilty of. See, these are things to transcend from the mind, from the space of the mind, because if this matters too much, then you're in a web of worry. It's actually, you're not going to transcend it because you're worrying about it too much. So the real deal about it is to look at it, understand it, and not worry about it, and transcend the fear about it via true understanding by transcending. So we see in every level of your being, every level, anything, any anxiety is that trapped. You're still stuck on things. Let it go. Come back to reality. It's all reality. Come back to presence. Come back to truth. This is why when people have horrible experiences as a younger child, or within a formative year, or any time, then they will be stunted. They will be stunted. Why? Because they can't keep flowing like they used to. Now they got something bothering them. Now there's something there. Now there's a worry. Now there's a trauma. Then there's an anxiety. Now it's in the nervous system. Now it's in the whole body. Everything is connected. This experience is recorded in your cellular tissue within your DNA. This is how intuition is passed on. The squirrel that does cross the road and gets away with it, and then tries to cross another road and gets smacked, doesn't get to reproduce. But the squirrel that waits in something kind of like, maybe I should wait. The intuition of God is going to go through that squirrel and make it wait. Therefore, it waits. Therefore, it crosses when it's clear. Then it goes and reproduces, and that intuition, that experience, God, on a physical level, of a physical manifestation level, then gets transferred into the being, and that DNA, that cellular intuition, God, in that, just all God, we'd say, this is where we're at, that squirrel now will have an intuition, a stronger intuition than the squirrel before it, to not cross the road, or to cross the road, or to not cross the road. So every level of subtlety, you don't want to succumb to social anxiety, and you don't want to let what other people think, or what the concept of what other people might think, get to you. Now here's the deal. Other people will think this, think things, think that, think this. Is why we go touch on that, because they will think this, because I stand in this form, standing on business, high frequency translates to awareness, translates to standing on business. Okay, so these things will happen to you. People live in the low frequency. There's a high frequency, there's a low frequency, and there's every level of subtlety in between, within it. So therefore, you're still going to have people who are insecure about you. You're still going to have people who are going to be prideful towards you. You're still going to have people who are going to try and get the ick from you, and really just be kind of terrified of you on an unconscious level and a conscious level. People will call you scary. People will call you weird. People will call you fucking autistic, okay? These are good things. These are good signs. You don't have a lot of friends? Good. You don't get a lot of play? Good. Why is it? Because you're on a high frequency. Okay? And there's every level of subtlety. You understand why. Understand why. You always understand what's going on. There's always common sense going on. There's always something based in reality. There's always something based in fucking reality. You see, reality is simply God manifest. So, this is good to ground it in for this being. It's fantastic. This is all. This is what God is doing. There's no choice of anything. This is what God is doing. But you also have the world, the illusion. You see, so that's where you come back to God and realize there is only God, and that the illusion is God. There is no death. This is the biggest fear. This is where all fear stems. There is no death. There is only God. There is literally only God. Everything is made out of God. There's nothing but God. There's only existence. We see very clearly. It's getting out of the world. That's the whole game. But again, God is doing it for you. There's no choice. You're born, you're doing that. Well, but like there's an illusion of something going on here. That is how God is doing it. That's how it's showing up in reality. That's how God is manifesting it for whatever, okay. 4. You see, every level of subtlety, God is. Like, God is. Nothing else, but God is. So you can understand everything, bring it into reality, ground it. Because it's ground your truth. People don't like that. They don't fucking stand on business. They are what we've been calling with layman's terms, a pussy ass nigga, bitch ass nigga, or a hoe ass nigga. Pawn, Han, and Bon, we could say. But this is just more concept. This is more concept. I think I'm done with saying that, because maybe I'll say it again. It doesn't matter. It really doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. See, we see where reality starts to get in, where the concepts start. Even simply speaking lowers the frequency ever so slightly, or maybe very, very much so, because there's every level of subtlety with things. I don't expect you to just full on believe me. I expect you to apply this to reality and understand that I'm standing on truth. I'm not it. I am it. But I'm it simply because it is me. So, I'm not taking any credit for this. There's nothing to take credit. There's nothing to think it has to justify anything, you see. God is working through all of this to make you see this. I can see someone may say, "Oh, we're smoking on the fire. They're crazy, wild gas." All gas does is amplify your awareness. Okay, is it strong, or is my awareness strong, or both? It's both. But I mean, all of it's strong. It's just like, what? Never. You don't have. You know, I like this because this consciousness is doing everything on purpose. I've had cool experiences. People have pulled out black weed on me before, and I already had a bunch, but it's like, try it. I was weary. I don't know. I think I might have. I think he put it on top or something. I was young, but it was black. He had it in a soda can, dude. Tell me about that. Tell me about that. That was fucking hilarious. That wasn't hilarious. It is what it is. It's it is what it is, in a good way. You see, it's about where your subconscious and unconscious is. Okay, it's where where your real deal level of awareness and communion with God is. That's what happens when you die. You go based off of that. Does something deep know its true nature, or is it like, see, every level of subtlety. But yeah, he pulled out already smoked stuff, black tar from a soda can. And I was like, is this fucking laced? I love this. Because this is a cool experience. Every apple falls from the tree. You're all gonna have good lifetimes. This is a good lifetime. Understand that. Understand that. This is a good lifetime. Understand, because I'm not just being, oh, my lifetime. No, I'm recognizing that my lifetime is awesome. You recognize that your lifetime is awesome. Oh, but yeah, right. That's concept. That's concept. Okay. Oh, but like my life isn't awesome. Yeah, but you have God. You have this awareness now. So it's awesome because it brought you to a point where you face duality, so you can see God through duality. So the ignorance is there, so that then the awareness can be there. You're not grateful for me or this or that. You're grateful for God. You understand that God is the only thing that exists. Okay, I'm not claiming this. Nothing claim. There is only the play. And when you understand, you be like, all right, my life is kind of awesome because this is the play. This is one of these lifetimes. This is one of these lifetimes in the play. It's like, it's not that big of a deal. So suddenly, it all becomes chilling. It all becomes God. You kind of come back to a contentment because you understand this is something that understands its source. So. Maybe I should start streaming. Yeah. It's always working. Don't have faith, not fear. Go forward. Not backward. Go forward. Think from awareness, not conceptual fear. Think from authentic awareness, not conceptual fear. Authentic awareness. That points to something beyond the conceptual realm of the mind. That points to being in the mind. What are you doing when you're not looking at your phone or doing this or playing in the realm of the world? You're with God. Now, is the mind going to corrupt God, so to speak? Is the world going to overlap the consciousness and therefore create an identity in something that's going off of all these different frequencies and interested in thinking about all these different frequencies and always busy in the mind? Or are you going to be with God, with awareness, not as anything, but only, okay? And then you see through the concepts of your mind. You watch it, you understand, it comes up, and you're like, not even authentic awareness. It gets easier. This is what gets people. They initially, because it's the start. They might twitch, dude. I know about that. They might twitch. Their mind might, and there's things that are trying to get it back down into reality. That's what it's trying to do. The body's trying to twitch you back into reality. Survival. The mind's trying to get you with things and trick you to think, to be in the realm of the world, back into survival. Back into fear, back into illusion. This is why there's nothing wrong. Everything is just God. You start to not be so insecure because you realize you're standing on business. You work up from the ground up, bottom up. Roots of heaven, stem in hell. You see? Man, I'm now start to be grateful for your experience. There's even something there thinking about being grateful earlier. You can see the synchronicity of reality. If you're on some crazy plant medicine, psychedelic substance, then you're gonna hear a bird and then a leaf fall at the same time, and that kind of thing all day. You're gonna understand how everything is synchronized and how everything is gone. because we've talked about this before, this and everything else dims down and shuts down the prefrontal cortex, the identity center of the brain, and allows for more authentic awareness, presence. This is why if you faced a dark trauma, then it's going to force a presence and awareness, and it's going to make you look at that. But if the body mind is not on a deep level with that presence and awareness, because now we could say you're taking a substance, it's somewhat new to the body mind. The body mind might not have the CPU capacity to withstand the awareness that is trying to be placed within it. We could say maybe it's a recent trauma of something really bad happening to you or a family member, and it immediately comes back up after taking some plant medicine. The body mind is going to fight it. While awareness is in control and as above, so below, it's going to force the body mind to explode. It's going to literally explode. It's going to maybe freak out, break down, cry, have any level of subtlety experience, but it's going to be faced with some crazy stuff. It's going to literally explode. It could hurt someone. It could reach a pivotal, unfathomable epiphany. It could be anything, but it is going to make it explode. The awareness and the ignorance is going to collide and explode and create something. A reaction, a spiky frequency within third density reality, physicality. See? Spiky frequency. Oh, spike. Think of a dense or particleized or negative frequency. Okay? Spiky. So, just let it go. Just chill. Chill. Just chill. This is a big thing. You gotta let your guard down. You gotta let the guard down of the mind, of the worries. Because it's there. It's there. It's the illusion. You see, it's what we've been talking about. It's the world. It's real. This is why you transcend it. This is why it goes from dense to weightless. It goes from particle to wave. Do you understand? You see? Yes, of course you do. Lovingly. See? There's no fear. There's only authenticity. You get to that point of realizing that. From fear. From ignorance. I think I said earlier in the video, yeah, I used to be 310 pounds. It's just life gives you experience that just creates a character that it wants. You want to, yeah. You can do this on Kick. Kick might be interesting. Kick might be very interesting. We'll see what happens with that. We will see what happens with Kick. Sabali must have patience. You might want something now, but the real deal for you is going to be later. Not like I'm telling you, but like it conceptually, you might think that, and then like the reality of it is you're going to get it later. Because you need to go through some experience to be able to handle that. This is why we'd say I was 310 pounds. Okay. This is why any negativity stems positivity, and why all ignorance creates awareness. If you're going to sit here and you're going to wonder, why is something hurt down here? What's this thing down here? Okay. And you don't get up. You're gonna be like, until eventually you finally realize there's a thorn in your side, and you're like, ooh, you get up. So, ground in your awareness, ground in your presence. Don't allow concept to come over your awareness. Notice the twitching, the subtleties, the mind, the nervous system, and see it as the world, see it as illusion, see it as fear, and transcend it with awareness and understanding. Not just preaching. I'm not just preaching, I'm preaching. I'm real preaching. Real preaching. You can see, this is silly. It's not meant to work. It's dense, it's gross, it's physical, it's painful because the highs are high and the lows are low. So, you come back to the source. You come back to the non duality within the duality. And that allows you to appreciate duality even more. It's like, oh man, I'm shoveling all this, like shoveling 13 hours straight, man. And I'm a little sore, I'm a little exhausted. But like, oh boy, this isn't even that bad. And like, the more I do this, the better and faster I get at this, and the more money I can make with this. Oh, now you're thinking like, oh, I can get my own. The first vehicle I get, it's going to be a truck. And then I can get a plow on it. Then I can get shovels. Wait a minute, I can do this and not have to work for someone. See, awareness starts to pile on itself when there's no fear, when there's no lack mentality, when there's an understanding of what you can do, and then you can do it, and then you can ground it into reality, and reality is nothing more than your mind. Hey, I can fucking play Batman Arkham. I can still do that, actually. I was doing that for a while. I was playing. I had it in another channel. I deleted it because I wanted to move my to my other email address. And I was fucking spitting ball knowledge on Batman Arkham City on YouTube. I got really good views on YouTube. Twitch is alright. I was getting really crazy good views on YouTube because I had already had an established account with like 170, almost 200. So I think it got to like 200. I don't know. But see, there was a subtle pride. There was ever so subtle, but there was a subtle pride. There was a subtle, ooh, I'm gonna be rich off this. You're subtle. But like, there was a subtle little expectation from making videos. And the universe cut it out. The universe stopped that. Why? Because that's the way it's supposed to go. That's the way it's supposed to go. No other reason. No other reason other than that's how it's supposed to go. I want to just practice a few things. See, every level of subtlety, every little caricaturization. I don't need to smile. That's learned behavior. That's subtle embarrassment. Understand it, call it out, ground it in reality, normalize it. Therefore, transcend it. Improvise, adapt, and overcome. So, again, I can go on about this all day because it's just the truth. And it also, you could say conceptually, broadens the awareness of the form, grounds its philosophy, you see. I think we'll end it though, because I can meditate like this all day. But to be in real deal meditation, dry dogging it, raw dogging, while in physical reality, getting into that awareness through all body, mind, fear, through all concept, and being aware and being on top of it. That sounds appealing. So that's what we're going to do. So, understand, like, this is the principle. This is the principle of existence. You should understand that God is everything. You should. And you should see through every layer of subtlety in your being, every everything. Don't shame it away, don't guilt it away, don't do anything else it away. Dissolve the ignorance with awareness. You see, it can be in the mind. It can be all nice and dandy in the mind. It's dandy awareness in the mind. Dandy little, there's a little contradiction there. Let me just, just be aware of it. There you go. It's all out. Yeah. It gets subtle. It gets subtle, but it also gets physical. It gets in your freaking nervous system. You like it because it gets real. It gets subtle and it gets real. And then it's like, oh, but it's real. Yeah, that's the world. This ain't like fairy tales. It's fairy tales until it gets real. When it gets real, that's when you're real. That's why I made a fucking video about real niggas. Go watch that video. Because it's fire. I only said this to this. You can see it. You talk about it. And it grounds it in. I said fire because I had the fire. Had the fire. Said fire. There's some awareness there. There's even more awareness than you think. See. Some awareness. See, it gets real. Oh, I don't want to say what I was really thinking about. Oh, but now it's like, what was I thinking about? And it's nothing bad. See, the fear and the embarrassment around it makes it worse. Okay, the worse you make it, the worse it gets. So we can say, I was thinking about like how, see, this is like an edging thing. This is trying to see what's up with the other sex and how it might interpret what you're saying. See, like this is where it needs to come out because it's real. If I'm facing it, then everyone else faces it because edging is a real thing. Not what you're thinking. The other edging, where you're trying to see what's up with the opposite sex. You're trying to map on every subtle level. That's second strongest instinct outside of survival. You need to watch that. You need to watch that sexual instinct. I was thinking about how the opposite sex could interpret what I'm saying. You see, this allows for more depth. This allows for more realness. Okay, just simply by pointing it out and grounding it into reality. There's more depth here. There's more to stand on. You see, I was thinking about how the opposite sex could interpret what I've been saying, what I was saying. Okay, this is subtle. This is in your mind. This is all in your mind. In reality, and also cleanse the mind with reality. You have this conceptual basis from what you've experienced is presence, concept, and presence. You have this conceptual basis of what you've experienced, and then you come out of that, and then reality then reinforces your conceptual basis. But now it's not a conceptual basis. It still is. The conceptual basis is now based more into dense, grounded reality rather than what the body mind has densely conceptualized it to be, which is something where a particleized frequency, a dense frequency, a traumatized frequency, you could say. So, every level of subtlety, everything is ignorance and awareness, the world and God. So look at that sexual instinct. Look at that sexual instinct. That's the biggest drainer of your energy. Hands down, the biggest drainer of your energy source. Biggest drainer of your energy. Why? Because energy is a life force. All your attention's going into it. God is all of God is going into it. All energy is going into it. So you don't want that. You don't want that. Oh, but like, you see what I went back to saying is like, oh, I said I wouldn't be doing this. I know I shouldn't be doing this, but I'm still going to do it. But it's like, this is where awareness kicks in. God, you come back to God, know it's doing the whole thing, while also maintaining your awareness. Now, also, this is trying your best. This is called trying your best, maintaining your awareness in reality. So, maybe you're just going to be aware. Maybe you're not going to try with your willpower. Okay, you're going to be aware. You're going to be aware. You're going to realize how God is better over the world. You're going to be aware. 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 See, this dissolves ignorance. Aware. Have something to say aware now. Aware. You're aware. You're aware of what it is. You're aware. Okay. Yeah, something needs to be on top of it, while also knowing God is in control. While also, being on top of it is being in that knowing. That's what being on top of it is. That's being in the knowing that everything is being taken care of God. Being in the knowing of there is only awareness. Being in the knowing of the more you knock on, you shall receive. Okay, the more you're aware, the more you will transcend ignorance through awareness and understanding. You see? And therefore you'll stand on business. You'll be able to show up confidently in reality. Now this is where bitch ass niggas come in. They live in concept. They are threatened by your existence because your existence threatens their existence because their existence is in the mind. It's in their concepts. We see this very clearly. So, simply, it's a matter, I can talk all day, but it's a matter of being aware. It's a matter of not living in your concepts. It's a matter of being present. Not, realizing that that doesn't exist. Any emotion around anything is coming from a source within your own being. And that source is getting triggered by a stimuli outside of your being, and that triggering is allowing the excuse for what is inside of your being to be projected out. Okay. But truly, what is inside your being should be understood and noticed and transcended with awareness and understanding. Not trying to get away from it and project into reality. It's like, oh, it's reality's fault. No, it is within your own being, not in reality. So within presence, in reality, with a clear being, with a peaceful present being, you're able to be in awareness. This is why it gets more and more subtle. Because within your own being, you have the dense contradictions, you have the dense mind, you have the dense conceptuality. And then it gets more and more subtle. And it's on every level of subtlety. It could be less and less dense. And then more and more subtle. It doesn't matter. But the point still stands. Presence, awareness, authenticity, consciousness dissolves because it's on a positive and negative number line. It's only higher on the number line, which means it dissolves ignorance and fear. Look, what's this? What's this? All right, what's this? All right. Oh, can't see anything. There's nothing going on here. Oh, here's another level of it. Oh, am I gonna get mad? Oh, no. I'm gonna like thrash around and knock it over and make it worse, and then I have to pick it up and maybe it's broken? Or am I going to be like, oh, okay, it's dark. Let me turn on the light. Oh, it's broken. Let me fix the light, so to speak. But another version of this is simple. There's darkness, can't see anything. Turn on the light, now I can see everything. We see very clearly there is only God. And from that is where the work is to understand that everything is God. It's to see through how real it is. We're not just talking out of our fucking ass. It's real. So to have a harsh, dense experience is to be faced with how real it is. And is to pressure test, we could say, this philosophy. Could say, because it's subjective, it's a subjective truth. It is the truth. God is everything. Now that that we need an ID card to identify the being. So there's a balance of the world and God, because there's something going on here. Therefore, it needs to be real. It needs to be real. And when things get hard, the philosophy, so to speak, is pressure tested, and you realize it is all God. What the fuck? What's worse gonna happen? You're gonna fucking die? So fucking what? You're God. Oh, but like, how do you know that? First of all, it is a subjective truth. But second of all, the brain is aligning with existence. In the way the brain is, it channels existence in such a manner where now there's consciousness in a vessel. Now frequency is able to look around at frequency. See? There is only God. There is only existence. There's only truth. This is where we get to the point where it's like you can only point to it. You can only point to the truth. And then there's like you can't even point to the truth because there's just the truth. This is why you come into a human experience to be like, oh, I'm a human. Oh, wait a minute, what? This is my true nature. And then we say consciously, we say God is able to see how powerful or how vast and how much better God is than a dense experience such as a human life. Through just seeing the truth, seeing that, all right, yeah, it's better to be, so quote unquote, so to speak, with God than density. Better to be one than appear to be separate. So, again, I can go about this all day, all night. I'll look into Kick, see what's up with that, because, yeah, that'll come soon. But we'll just say coming soon. You don't gotta say whenever, but coming soon. That could mean vast. That's vast. Every level of subtlety. You can see how reality is the number line of ignorance and awareness, God and illusion. You see how things are built up like illusion and God, these words, they're built up in conceptuality. See how powerful the devil is? The devil, hell, it's just the world in conceptuality. It's just man, it's just the beast. Okay, it's the world. The more you're delving into concept and world, this is this and that is my name. That keeps you in hell, so to speak. That keeps you in ignorance. That keeps you in ignorance. Keeps you in the world. Keeps you in the illusion. There's nothing wrong with that. It's here to be here. It's here to be there. But that's what it's doing. It's keeping you in ignorance, in illusion, in the world, in density. Now we can see the words I'm using and how the conceptual charge of the words might manipulate how this is taken. But truly everything is neutral. See? So, it is just a number line of ignorance and awareness, of authenticity and fear, God and the world, the source in the illusion of reality. I say illusion though. What do you mean? It's not like, oh, it's real. What the fuck what do you think I'm gonna say? See, these conceptual basis of these words can't get in the way. Do you have a nervous system? All right. I also have, like, come on. See. This is how it works. So, I mean, any authenticity will repel any fear inside and out, within your being and without your being. So if you're an authentic being, you're going to repel away inauthentic, ignorant beings. And again, the words are neutral. I should probably say that. I should probably say that more. The words are neutral. Nothing wrong with anything. There's no shame or guilt to be had. These keep you being shameful and guilty keep you in the frequency of shame and guilt. All right, like what are you gonna do? What are you gonna do about that? If a Zionist living off of the genocide of Palestinians can sleep like a baby, I think he can stop being guilty, and also understand every side of it, understand the whole of it, and understand the paradoxes of this existence, how it is all paradoxically synchronized for evolution. Really nothing to worry about. But yet, the concepts of the mind and of the worldly based necessary component that is necessary for to have a human experience, it'll be like, well, you know what? Getting hit in the face hurts. And to that, you have to agree. You have to agree that there's something going on here. There is something going on. There is reality going on here. This is why it's like, oh, what are you talking about? Because you need to face some real duality to see this. Or else you'll just be living as a human. So there's something there that shows that, okay, God is better. The source, weightlessness, wavelengths is better than the illusion, density, in particles. I mean, like, again, this is all neutral. There's nothing wrong with any of it. But the essence of this frequency that is right now, why not put that out there when the main point of the video is the collective consciousness and how you got to transcend the collective consciousness. This is how you transcend the collective consciousness, or mentality of collective consciousness and the collective consciousness, because it's within you. It's not within them. They're just the collective consciousness. They got in you somehow. That's fine. That's there to be there. You got to dig out the collective consciousness within you. And the way you do that is you don't dig it out. You actually freaking disintegrate it with awareness. You see, because it's an ignorant collective, if it was just chilling, it'd be chilling. But since it's ignorant, you can dissolve it with awareness. You can see that, oh, they're standing on nothing. And, oh my God, wow. There's nothing to fear here. There's this little thing, this little insecurity, this and that. It doesn't matter. It only matters so long as you stay within the frequency of it mattering. Are you going to allow it to matter? If it really, truly doesn't matter, well, that's up to you, so to speak. But again, everything, God is running through everything. See, I'm not claiming this. I'm not saying I'm smart. I'm not doing that. It's because that's just more dipping into the world. That's more dipping into, me. Pride is it could be the deadliest sin because it is trying to claim what can never. God. Okay. But there is no deadliest. There's nothing like this. There's only God. Truly only God. Truly. Truly only. It's playing the killer and the saint. Your killer is actually your future saint, because we could say the karmic wheel of lifetimes goes from ignorance to awareness. See? There is no miss. It's supposed to seem real. It's supposed to seem like, oh, YOLO, you only live once. Because, like, it's supposed to be like that. YOLO, you only live once. Like, what else are you going to do? How many things... Oh, well, it'd be a lot different. You'd probably do a lot more things if you knew. It's the way it's set up. Your awareness, outside of any conditioning whatsoever, outside of all of it, outside of this entire realm, the truth of your being, truth of existence, knows this is the best way to do it. I think that knows more than anything could ever know on this realm of existence. Because that is existence. So the things that make you think that you're smart is just existence. You're borrowing from existence. You see, as above, so below. There really is no pride. Pride is the deadliest sin because You're trying to claim God. You can't, as above, so below. You can't do it. Only by God are you allowed to be prideful. Think, because now it's not a deadly sin. Now it's a deadly sin because it's one of the most ignorant sins. It's one of the most ignorant things you can do. Deadly, fear, God, or yeah, God too. Fear, hell, all that is just ignorance in the world. Plain and simple. Like hour 30 minutes, like boy, like give me a kick account. Soon. Oh, what do we see? You dig yourself out of the world with awareness. You do it. Yeah. And you come back to awareness. You make videos. You know, maybe you don't want to meditate. You're just awareness. You're meditating all the time. Start realizing it. You see? There is only awareness. Only awareness. Only awareness. Only existence. And if you want to be in flow with that, get rid of make the particles wavelength, waveform. Loosen the density. Be aware. Shine the light. Be aware. This aligns the left and right hemisphere of your brain. What we've been talking about, the world and God, is up and down, left and right, duality, 0 and 1, but it's also intuition and logic. The left hemisphere of your brain is in charge of logic. It is the masculine hemisphere of the brain. It is the 1 to the 0. It is the world to the God, the ignorance to the awareness. But yet, within this spectrum, there's many spectrums. So, the logic brain is there to decipher the world. It is the masculine principle, the knower. The right hemisphere of the brain is the feminine hemisphere of the brain, the God, the conscious, the weightless, the all understanding, and the intuition. Opening the third eye, so to speak, is simply, so to speak, merging and aligning these two hemispheres of the brain, which is what we've been talking about as coming back down from conceptuality into presence, and from that, allowing presence to now then for, again, influence the conceptuality, the logic, the right hemisphere. You're getting like beat up all the time for wearing sunglasses because no one wears sunglasses. It's a social norm to wear sunglasses. You get beat up for it. The logic brain is going to see sunglasses, recognize sunglasses, and immediately send a signal at the same time to the right side of the brain, which then intuits that, oh no, I need to get the fuck away from sunglasses. Okay, I hope no one thinks they're mine. That's coming from the right side of the brain. All the conceptuality, all the thinking is coming from the right side of the brain. But the whoa, that is coming from God, the right side of the brain. So we understand thoroughly what God is. All right, have a beautiful day. Now, see, now we understand every level of subtlety. I was trying to catch it at 1333. See, you gotta catch it out, and God shows it to you, because that's what it's signed up for. We could say, all right. Awareness over everything. Awareness over every little subtlety. Awareness, 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 but also knowing that God is in full control of this whole thing. Okay? Awareness, 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 blah, 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 blah. Knowing that God is in full control of the whole thing, and you are only existing because of God, and you are God by proxy. You see. Synchronize back with love. Come from presence to concept to presence again. So, you'll never catch me drinking alcohol, and you'll never catch me doing anything outside of psychedelic substance, outside of THC, lysergic acid, diheptamine, diethyltryptamine, and psilocybin. You won't see me doing anything else. Notice how I pointed out. Notice how I understand what these things are. Now, this is a subtle pride. Notice it, understand it, dissolve it. But do see. I suppose it doesn't really matter if I mean it or not, or if I know it or not, because one who lives more in their right side of the brain would already know and not need to prove it to anyone else. So it doesn't matter whether or not they know the actual names of it. It doesn't. All that would do is prove to the left hemisphere of the brain that, oh, he knows what he's talking about. But really, someone who lives more in the right hemisphere of the brain probably knows more of what they're talking about. They probably might not know how to say it. Or they probably don't care to say it. They probably do know how to say it. And they probably really just, they don't care to say it. Because there's no point in saying it. The only reason I'm doing this video, truly, is to dig this in. To really stand on my own foundation. My own. See, to get closer for this play to play out. For this play of lower form coming back to higher form. I remember saying to this girl one time, I am going to reach my highest, I'm going to be fully aligned with my highest self by the end of this lifetime. And that was really young. So like, and just, it's all beyond all this. I already know. There's, again, like I was just saying, someone with the right hemisphere base doesn't need to explain themselves. So I won't. I'll let what I've said, I'll be attractive. I won't seek. Live in the right hemisphere of the brain. They say in the Bible to live with the mind and the heart. This is both the right and the left hemisphere of the brain, logic and intuition. Come away from conceptuality, live in presence, and then therefore allow presence to dictate what is known from the logic. The mind is simply a tool, not reality. Reality is. Reality is. The mind is the mind. The mind is deciphering what is. The mind is simply that. Don't live in the mind. The mind is the decipherer of what is. Be in what is, so the mind is more hip to what actually is and not to what it thinks, not to what the body mind has experienced and then particleized a dense defense mechanism around a trauma, or so to speak. Any trauma, every level of subtlety, defense mechanism to then stay in a state of survival mode. This anchors you down into a survival mode state in such a way. Align your first three chakras to then be able to come to the heart, to then be able to come to love, to then be able to realize everything is chilling. Really is chilling. Nothing else. Why? Oh, but this guy's mean to me. This guy. See, this is what we've been talking about. He's of the world. You actually reach a point where you genuinely don't give a fuck. Not because like, oh, I don't give a fuck. No, because you genuinely know why you're not giving a fuck. And you know you're standing on business when you're not giving a fuck. You're standing on truth, not giving a fuck. And it's not giving a fuck. It's just you're not under that frequency. You're not within ignorance, within that spectrum of ignorance. So it can't affect you. It's like, trust me, man, I have experience with this. But it's like someone's getting mad at you. It's like, you know, whatever. Okay, that's them. Pretty much. I love it. It's cool. I'm going to say something. It's cool to see this happen. See a lifetime happen. A divine lifetime. Well, yeah. You see the whole thing. See every motive, every little thing, because you're within this thing. You are you could say. So you see the whole thing within the thing, and it's like all there, and you're not hiding from it. You're like looking at it. It's like some people, why can't you look at it? It's like maybe their brain just can't go there. You know, maybe they just can't go there, and maybe it's like maybe it brings up a guilt and a shame. That's what it does actually. It brings up a guilt and a shame and an insecurity around, oh, they might know more. They know more than me, because that's based in the world. That's based in oh man, I gotta be something like that. You gotta be cool. You gotta be cool enough. Like, get the fuck out of here. Like, and that's every level of subtlety, not just being cool. Like, I'm applying this to everything. Oh, you gotta do this. You gotta achieve that. It's like, get the fuck away from me. Get the fuck away from me. Go fucking. Get the fuck away from me. Because it's just the world. Get the fuck away from me. Get the fuck away from me. When you're standing on business, you don't give a fuck. Genuinely don't give a fuck. Now there might be a little thing like, oh, you don't want to, you don't want to make waves. You don't want to make waves with people because you know you'll make them super insecure. You don't want to make waves. No, seriously, no. But you don't want to make waves. You do want to make waves. Why? Because when you make waves, it's motion. Think of anything. You need motion. Energy needs to start getting picked up. So there's got to be something in the way. There's got to be a little sporadic frequency going on, and that comes from insecurity of others. Now, it's initial. It could be subtle. It's on every level of subtlety. So they can start to like you. They can start to learn from you and start to be inspired from you. It can be every level of subtlety and density. Every level of subtlety. Every level of subtlety. Every level of subtlety. So in essence, because it's a higher frequency, because it's a number line, because it's ignorance and awareness, therefore, being in a higher frequency, standing on authentic business, not really putting up with ignorant shit, will automatically allow everyone else to come out of a dumbass ignorant frequency and then be on more of an authentic real frequency, because they know that you're going to see their shit, because you don't need to talk too much. You don't need to show emotion because you're chilling, you're in God. Okay? They'll see that. They'll know you're fucking noticing everything. And then, it's every level of subtlety, but they'll start to be cooler. They'll start to get on your level. They'll stop being fucking stupid. You know, they'll stop trying to live in the world, okay, being ignorant, because they know you're watching, because they know God's watching, because then it triggers them. It triggers their awareness. Their higher self is watching, so to speak. They know something's up. So then it's like, all right, maybe it's time to like be more authentic, be more aware, you know, be more peaceful and chilling and understand things are chilling on a deep level of being. Okay, I'm saying it like it is, but this is a lot of it is in the being, in the body. Okay, so good to see. It's within every level. It's good to see it within what I've been saying and within the body. Okay, so this is why you need to stand on a high frequency, be a high authentic frequency, and how a high authentic frequency is simply authenticity, grounding itself. It's not bogus. It's based in purity, based in reality, truth. So there's nothing that can fuck with it. That's why they'll come up to your reality. That's why it's a number line, because they can't, if they're going to sit here and be ignorant, they're going to make themselves look ridiculous. Now, if you're living with someone, now this is where my experience comes in. You're living with a nasty person who isn't afraid to be nasty towards you and projects their nastiness. This can make you a people pleaser, or this could make you, not want to stir up waves, pretty much. This would make you not want to stir up waves, because then you're like, oh, but then they're just going to be like ridiculous, because like at home, the mother, she doesn't really, when I'm authentic, she's like, she doesn't, something, she's really ignorant about it and doesn't let up on it. Okay, maybe they'll do the same thing. No. That's when you stand on fucking business. It's like, who cares? Now it's like, you're weird for being ignorant, being narcissistic, because like, you can do behind closed doors, but like, you can't do it in the workplace. But then again, every level of subtlety, so it matters on the collective level of the place. So you could get the whole opposite spectrum, the whole deal. So this is one way to put it, but it works in every way. It's paradoxical. It's a number line. So you just gotta stand in business. You just gotta stand in awareness. And that's why it's like, what are you talking about? It's like easy to doubt, because it's like, you want to doubt it. You want to stay in ignorance. You want to stay in your little bubble. Okay, you want to doubt me. Okay, cool. But it's not. There's nothing here that cares about that, because we've been talking the whole time about a real authentic frequency and what that is. So, and for the video to come away from a collective ignorant frequency, guess what you do? You do what I've been talking about. You come into an aware frequency. You just come into awareness. You go up on the number line of ignorance and awareness. You come here. You're present. So it's like not even a big deal. But it's deep into the psychology and biology of the being. So it's God. It's cool to just get ground up, get these chakras aligned, come into awareness, especially in such an ignorant time period. This is why the video is being made. God made this video because God's living in an ignorant time period, because God's able to see through these forms, through this form. Okay, there's no claiming it. It's everything. This is a play of God. But like this, like I'm a human. I live day to day. Like I live like 80 years, like, nah, bro. Okay. All right. You do. You're right. You are right. That's why you believe it, because you're right. On some level, you're right. You are. But you can't cling to what only you know. You can't fear what you don't understand, or else you'll be ignorant. You want to know about what you don't understand, then guess what? Oh, hello. Knock and you shall receive. Knock and you shall receive. All right. All right. And experience will reflect back on you. It'll reflect your frequency back on you. That's why people would want to tear you down and kind of doubt you, because they want to stay in their frequency. So when you're in your own frequency, it's a high frequency. You'll start seeing numbers, you'll start seeing synchronicities. Now, this is out of awareness, because high frequency equals awareness. This is all it is. High frequency equals awareness. That's it. That's it. High frequency equals, we can say, God, existence, coming back closer to contentment, love. You see that all these emotions, any reaction of dopamine in the brain, is a remembrance of your source nature, of your truth, of an authentic frequency, of a high frequency. That's why people get addicted to drugs, do any kind of anything. Any can be a drug. Anything that releases dopamine is the drug that everyone's going after. That's it. And opioid, that doesn't. It's not. The opioid receptor is like a storehouse for dopamine. It's all dopamine. Everything is dopamine. So, dopamine is a direct remembrance of a high frequency. And evolutionarily, we grew to like, oh, you get dopamine from doing good, from getting work done, from, staying alive. Okay. From doing something hard, and it may have worked for it because this is the realm of duality. Okay. But in essence, it's just trying to get you to more awareness. All that is a reaction coming out of ignorance. You got out of ignorance, you got to hit a dopamine, which means there's high frequency. Okay? It's a remembrance of a high frequency. It is a high frequency. It's a spike. That's why it does those hard drugs. It's a nasty little spike out of into a high frequency. All right. But the realest, highest frequency you can get on is the fucking frequency of awareness. This is the number line. You're aware of your source, and God. Like, all right, well, see, let me come back to this. Not even a big deal, but I gotta drive it in that reality is real, and it'll try and pull you back into conceptuality. It'll try and pull you back into illusion. It'll try and pull back you into the prefrontal cortex, the identity center. So you need to understand, it is no big deal. You are chilling. God is all that is. But it is also an active thing. What is awareness? It isn't ignorance. It is awareness. What is ignorance? It isn't awareness. It's ignorance. So there's a constant duality because there's a form. There's the nervous system, there's everything in the brain chemistry, in the particleization around habits within the brain, in the duality of particles and waves and density and weightlessness and ignorance and authenticity and God in the whole spectrum of the human being, the whole being. So this is an active thing of awareness. This is a ground up thing. And you say, the heart will be weighed when you die. Okay, that's what the Egyptians said. This is simply, are you aware or are you ignorant? Are you going to have another ignorant lifetime, or are you going to be into more of an aware incarnation? Okay, this is a gradual upward spiral of karmic lifetimes, you could say. You could say, again, everything that I'm pointing to is outside of this entire realm of concept, outside of this entire realm of our awareness, outside of everything. Well, suppose that awareness is infinite here. You can get to pretty high levels of awareness here. Okay. But you don't know, but it gets out of this realm. There's not just this realm. This realm is physicality. This is a physical realm. Get more weightless, less dense. See, this is an ignorant realm. That's why you can do ignorant things. That's why evolution is happening in this realm. This is the firmament. Space is the firmament. Oh, you can go to outer space, you fucking idiot. Space is the firmament. God. The reality, the crystallization of frequency is the firmament. It's the illusion of reality. It's Maya. But anyway. Wow, as the form is more weightless, as the form is more aware, and less ignorant, less dense, now there's more subtlety. Now there's more awareness. Now you can sense frequency. This is all that is happening at all times, but now you can see that it's beyond concept. You're living in presence, you're living in awareness. So you can see frequency. You can read frequency. You say you can read the vibe. Yeah. You can read frequency. You can read subtle frequency. In essence, all it is you're always reading frequency. It just gets more and 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 more infinitely subtle. With the more awareness coming up the number line of ignorance and awareness, of truth and illusion, of God, of truth, of source, of existence, and then the illusion of reality. Dipped into the well of forgetfulness, because if existence is all it is, it needs to know its source. It's just existence. It needs to like do it, you know, like be existence. So it does this to be like, oh yeah, all right, yeah, that's cool. I like being my source more than I like dense reality. And guess what you have to do to figure that out? You have to play around in dense fucking reality. There's no escaping it. It's all chilling. You see, it's all chilling. Fully. Even the good old genocides, all the horrible things, unfortunately. See, the only thing that's saying unfortunately is the organism, is the mind, is the thing that's coming from the world, is speaking on the world. But really, everything is evolving within existence, within consciousness, within God. See, so you notice a pattern. We go back into awareness and then we pick up more, because it's not about ball knowledge. It's about direct, literal just being God. Not literally just being God. Yo, you can be God too. Don't get insecure. See, an insecure frequency brings you back into the world. Makes you be like, oh, he thinks he's God, I'm not God. In every level of subtlety, he thinks he's God, but like, I don't think I'm God. That's what it is. That's what it is. On a deep level, we're going deep. We go fucking deep here. We go fucking deep. It's on a fucking deep level of insecurity of I'm not enough. Something like that, or I don't have that. That's just some bullshit. Alright? Absolutely. We see clearly that you are God. And what I'm talking about is simply being in awareness and coming away from the world and away from illusion and coming back to the fact that, oh yeah, there is only consciousness. Oh yeah, and consciousness can see itself. Oh yeah, there's awareness. It's not this fantasy land. It's not imagination. It's this real reality. It's like, whoa. There's nothing holding it back. It's just in reality. It's like free. It's just in reality. This is why the roots in heaven stem in hell, though. That's why we're talking about how you need to transcend your lower nature to be up to this point, because presence, then concept, then presence again, because the baby homeostasis of pure consciousness is then formed by its environment. And then therefore the body mind, the brain, the psychology of the brain, and the biology of the nervous system then influence what is called the identity of the organism. And what is called an organism this is all just frequency. This is all just God. You see, I'm not claiming it. It's just on it. This is standing on truth. This is what it is. What it is. And your biggest contribution is your frequency in third dimension. Everything's frequency. If your level of consciousness is what you are in essence, so to speak, then I suppose your consciousness, your frequency is the highest contribution you can do, because your frequency is the only thing that is you. There is only frequency. There is simply a brain, we can say a brain that is channeling existence into a localized consciousness, into the illusion of a localized consciousness, so that it can experience reality in a dense form. Take notes. Actually, don't take notes, because it's infinite. I just do this every day. It doesn't matter. Okay? Honestly, you don't need to take notes. That's thinking in the world. That's thinking in the mind. You just flow with it. You understand it. You already understand it. You don't need to take notes. It's absorbed. It's sponged up by your subconscious mind.
Okay, there's no need to be like, I need to figure it out. That's where you go wrong. It's nothing. There's surrender to access your greatest power. All right, truly, truly. We've also demonstrated how psychoactive and psychedelics affect the human brain. And I said before, you'll never catch me going outside of the realm of psychedelics. No ketamine. I'll say this specifically: THC, psilocybin, lysergic acid, dihyptamine, and diethyltryptamine. It. That's it. Oh, I said psilocybin. You won't catch me drinking alcohol. You won't catch me doing anything else. Everything else is fucking nasty. What? There's nothing else outside of that group of 5 things that is good for you at all to any degree. It's like the only ones that make you more conscious are good for you. The more conscious they make you, in fact, the less of an addiction can be formed with them. And we can see as the number line is, it goes more into an ignorant space as soon as you reach alcohol. Or however you want to put that. We'll go outside of the realm of psychedelics, it starts to get nasty. Fast. 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 Okay, fast. And you know what's funny? All the nastiest ones are man-made. What about lysergic acid dihyptamine? Diethyltryptamine, you get it from a plant. Lysergic acid dihyptamine, it is man-made. Oh no. Well, guess what? It's literally the base chemical, literally lysergic acid dihyptamine. Literally lysergic acid dihyptamine. Meaning is LSD. Meaning lysergic acid dihyptamine is a pure chemical compound. So it's literally it's man-made, but it's literally man-made from consciousness. We can see how the number line is fucking literally all that is. The more there's consciousness put in to how and what you're extracting, what chemical you have. And fucking look at that! We have LSD, we have lysergic acid dihyptamine. And that, right there, is a powerful plant medicine. Why is it plant medicine? Because it falls in line with psychedelics, and psychedelics are called plant medicine. You have THC, that goes onto your endocannabinoids within your own brain. The endocannabinoids are in your brain. In this also allows for, we could say, an effect on the prefrontal cortex that slow down the identity center and allow for more weightless consciousness. They all do this, and they all can produce very psychedelic effects, extremely psychedelic effects, even THC. But generally, THC is, we could say layman's terms, is the weakest one, but there is no weakest one. You could have a crazy trip on THC and not feel anything on LSD. Ooh. I don't know what THC stands for. Oh no. Yeah, see what a logic mind would try and justify its reality with? You understand? This is not claiming this. This is simply just like me pointing to the truth. Don't hate the player, hate the game, because hate is ignorance. We could say go be ignorant somewhere else, but truly, it doesn't matter. I think that's gonna have to. We'll see. So that's not about what it's about to be. It's not about what you're thinking. It's about awareness. It's about what it gives you. It's about what comes to you in your awareness. This is why you need to cleanse your vessel, because what comes to you in your awareness, therefore, is whatever is deep within your being. So you're disconnected from, let's say, God or your source, that means you're in the world and you're worried about things. See, you have things to worry about. You're living in survival. You're living in the lower three chakras. You're worried about survival. You're worried about how you look, and you're worried about how you feel about yourself. Okay. And you're worried about your pleasures too. Because there's survival, then there's your pleasures and addictions, and in your sexual instinct, and then there's how you feel about yourself and how you think others feel about you, and how you show up in reality. So you don't want to stay in an ignorant frequency. Again, these neutral terms. These neutral terms, just the way it is. So chilling. From a place of chilling, from a place of awareness, guess what? You can then create from common sense a positive reality. And a reality that doesn't rely on, oh man, he's mad at me, what a dingus. Oh, that's just what it is. It's ignorance. It's fine. You transcend it. It doesn't affect you in any way, shape, or form. Because you don't care. You see it as ignorance. You're above it. And that allows you to be peaceful. Warrior in a garden. See? Not a gardener in a war. Warrior in a garden. This simply allows you to be on a high level of awareness, to be peaceful, to be on a high frequency, to be more in tune with contentment, love, and peace, more towards the source, because oneness, you see, remembering your oneness, you're seeing through reality as your oneness, seeing reality as your oneness, you're seeing oneness as everything. This is quite fantastic. If there's anything, well, I'll just say this. If you're going to read a book, read Autobiography of a Yogi. But truly, I just wanted to show his picture. Sri Paramahansa Yogananda. Very divine figure. A high frequency expression. We have this too. Why am I showing this? It's not why am I showing this. It is God. See, this is why surrender to access your greatest power. Because when you surrender all the concepts, you are able to be free. You are able to create what is conceptualized. You let others think what they want. And then you are free. You have a beautiful day. I love you.